Well, good weekend all. Ira Epstein with your metal market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Friday evening, the 27th of October, 2023. Are we at war? What's going on? That's the big question we're all wondering. The stock market got pretty well hit today. You know, and the interesting part was the earnings that have been coming out aren't worth this size break. It is a combination of war, not knowing what's going on. You know, you don't even read about Ukraine today, but it's got its hands full out there. Are we going to attack Iran? Is Iran going to listen to us and stop the nonsense, call off your dogs of war out there from hitting our boys in Iraq and Syria? I doubt it. The Houthis today fired missiles, so they're coming in from Yemen with missile attacks now towards Israel. Some landed in Egypt. This thing's picking up the other players. And that's what you're worried about, and that's why the market in part sold off, because war is not bullish for our economy. I think you'd agree with that. But it is bullish for gold, and to just say that gold went up $1, aren't you surprised? Now, if you were watching how this market was trading, when the action happened, gold took off. So you're going to say to me, Ira, why is it up $1 and why is silver only up 2 cents? What time did they settle the metal markets? Remember? Central Time, 12:30. When did we get news of what was going on with Israel and the incursion? It was after 2 o'clock. And the market took off and got up to the 2019 level. This market got into the 23.25 level. So you're looking at a markets that if right now we were open on an evening session, they'd probably be sharply higher in both cases. Remember that. It's important to know the settlement times. When you look at the gold, it is staying with an overall bullish bias. The monthly chart came down and challenged and held. Now, if you go to the S&P chart in my other vehicle, it doesn't mean it'll work or not. We have gotten down and we're right at the 18-month moving average on one of those charts, the S&P. So this is an important area as it's proving here. Now, when we take a look at what's going on, so how long have we been over on a weekly basis, the 18-week average? Let's go back a little bit. So the week of the 13th, we were under. We got back over here, and we're extending the run at this point in time. Will we go for these highs? Most likely. You know, unless something calms down all of a sudden and calmer heads prevail, I would assume that Israel's going to keep going with the word incursion. I'm not a military guy. I don't think this is the big one where they bring in the 300,000 troops. I think these are the softening up blows, but they're going to get more aggressive because time's running out. The world is saying to Israel, you can't keep killing people. You're starving them to death. You're doing this. And their answer is, yes, we can. Look what they did. We've got to put an end to it. World pressure is very powerful. When you look at the gold market, you've got a lower and low, higher high here. Okay, we all see that. This is a war environment. It has nothing, and I think you realize that, to do with inflation reading or anything right now. This is your wartime play. Can it keep going? Oh, yeah. Remember, now if you take out this week's high next week and you don't come back under this low, you've got higher lows, higher highs at that point. You open the market up certainly for these old highs back here. Why not? The Bollinger Band on the weekly chart's going to come in at 2008. You're going to be there lickety-split most likely. Same thing on the slow stochastics. They're overbought. So going home, if you're a pure technician and you're not looking at the noise of what's going on in the real world, I think traders would have taken profit today. But I think they're looking to see, does this thing get worse? Because when you're a buyer of gold, this is the event that you want to be in. If you're not long GLD or the futures, you're missing out because this is the event. Does it mean that you'd make money? I don't know. But you buy gold in the time of war that can especially expand in your own backyard big time. You're there. You're there right now, right here. This is the event. We have how many ships, how many naval carrier fleets? We've got 2 battle groups of those. We've got destroyers sitting in the straits. We've got all our other armaments around us. We are stretched thin. We are out there. All it takes is a ship getting sunk. A land missile, an air missile, something comes in from a bad player. What do you think happens? You think you're waking up and it's going to be calmer? And where do people run in the time of fear? So understand what you've got and why at this time, even if you're wrong, you have to own something in that market. That's the hard thing. The gold-silver ratio, in this environment, silver's an industrial metal at the end of the day. Only Tiffany and Company thinks it's a precious metal and they adjust their prices accordingly. When I look at the market here, higher high, lower low, and the market fighting itself right through there, hasn't given you a setup. Now, it could. If you take out not this week, but last week's high over the 2388 level on a chart basis, you'd have higher lows and a successful test of both the 100-week, the 200-week right here, the Bollinger Band. You take off, there's little to stop the market then from the 2500 level. As a chartist, that's what I'm seeing. In copper, was this a trade bottom? It could be. You're oversold, you've run the Bollinger Band, you have an outside week up. So what a lot of traders do is, I have a course called Outside Day Course on our website at iraepstein.com. It teaches my concept of how to play this because it could very well be a big bottom. How do you do it? Take the course. I'm not going to explain it. In the platinum market, look at how we've gone sideways. So something has happened. We have Ford that has made its deal. Late in the day, GM said they will accept the terms. Means Stellantis has to do it. So you should have the fait accompli. Now, is this good for electric cars? I don't think so. I think that the auto companies, when they pay this much money, they've got only amount. This is an American market. It might be fine for Stellantis abroad. They're part of a bigger, broad company. But for American car manufacturers, I think they're going to follow the lead of Ford. And they're going to say, we're in, we're going to keep doing it, but we got to slow down the pace. We can make more profit on internal combustion and maybe hybrid combination. The market's just not ready for this just yet, but we're there. That's what I think is going to happen. In the dollar index, obviously, this is a wartime environment. Generally, in a wartime environment, the dollar gets a bid. We will see if that's the case. What's moving the market is not the trend. It's this, the embedded reading. Until you lose it, I think you're just one way in the market. So as you put this all together, what I try to do is give you the logic that I've got of 54 years of being in this business. It's a long time. And I have been through wars. I have been through the Vietnam era. When I went to college and all that, that was right when I'm there. You think what's going on in the colleges now, I didn't see in a different version? Of course I saw it in other versions. All right? You called it one thing then, you call it another thing now. It's all about hate and all the wrong things, and are you going to be a loyalist and blah, blah. It's terrible. It's called dysfunction. And we're there. We're a dysfunctional society right now. Accept that. So how does it affect the markets? The U.S. is stretched out. You're spending your money. I'm spending mine. We've got a Ukrainian war. We have an Israel war. We have a war at our borders. We're getting crazy here. We have sanctuary cities. I live in one that wants to vote to not be a sanctuary city. We have lawsuits galore going in cities where they can't take in any more people, and they're saying that the mayors, I live in one, the mayors are misspending the citizens' monies. They don't have the rights to do this. So turmoil. How do you work with it? How does it affect the markets? Well, give me a chance to show you what I write about it, how I apply it to the markets, and so on. And no, I don't want your money. If you haven't tried my research, I want to give it to you. Try it for 2 weeks with everything I have, the whole shoot and caboodle. You tell me at the end of that if you like it. And then if you decide, what we'll do is turn it off. You either subscribe or you don't. It's not expensive, and you can take a look at it. Everything you get that is good generally has a cost. Everything that is free out there there's a reason it's free. If you don't believe that, God bless you. I can imagine your doctor's working for free. The guy that's done your family will, your lawyer, and help you buy your house. It's all free because that's how it works. You know better than that. So you pay for what you get in life. I know that, you know that, and that's how it works. Am I looking for a lot? What if I tell you start my subscriptions on things for the price, honestly, of Starbucks coffee with your tip to that barista? And you've got yourself going for 28 days. You're through with that coffee by noon if you had it in the morning. It's going out of you. My stuff's going to last 22 days, 15-minute videos. And in my full research, if you decide to go for that one, it works even different because now you're getting newsletters, a minimum 2 a day, Monday through Thursday, one on Sunday night, one on Friday, and special reports. So give it a try. Free. IraEpstein.com. Move your cursor up here. Give it a click. I'm Ira. It's going to be interesting. I'll be on this with my clients very shortly come Sunday night. Maybe you should join in. Take care.